Hey, what's up everybody? This is Osaberg501 and today I want to go over a bunch of legendary items that were leaked for the upcoming DLC 1. And this was on a Reddit post, so I'll leave a link to that in the description. But I have no idea where these are leaked from because there's nothing in the Reddit post besides a picture. I know a few of these have been seen in some of the early gameplay for the DLC, but I have no idea where all the other ones are actually from, or if this is just a compilation of all of the different gameplay videos we've seen, because I know there's been some official videos, like there was that 13-minute like early playthrough gameplay of it. I know some other publications have gotten some early gameplay as well, so I have no idea where these are actually leaked from. But first off, we get a class mod shown for all four of the classes, or all four of the characters, and they all seem really insane. But I want to go over the weapons first, because the weapons, we don't really know if they're going to be strong just because of how legendary weapons work. Some of them do seem pretty strong just off the baseline. Like this first one's Burning Scoville, which is a pistol with really high fire rate that's 2,400 times 2 with a splash damage radius increase. So it seems to be probably an explosive weapon with a decent sized radius that shoots very fast and does a lot of damage, and has a pretty high damage per second on the fire. So it seems to be something that'll be really good on like an unlimited ammo Mo's build. And if this thing stays to what it is on the card, even if it's just that, it'll probably be somewhat strong. The red text put a little pepper on the end of it. Next, also, a bunch of these are from other Borderlands games. A lot of them are from Borderlands 2 or share the name of stuff from Borderlands 2. So that's pretty much all I want to go over with that, because we don't know if they're going to even be anywhere close to the things from the other Borderlands games. So next is Potent Nukem, and this is a really high damage one. With damage increase, splash radius, increased projectile speed as a rocket launcher, and its name dropper. The damage seems good, but rocket launchers, and it only has a magazine size of 1, so I'm thinking this does something really crazy, like not just the damage, but does something extra on top of that. But rocket launchers are kind of really hit or miss. They're either really strong or really bad. Next we have the Viral Heartbreaker. I don't know if viral is a prefix or not. It is a ×8 shotgun. This one's cash infused, and I'm pretty sure it's Hyperion, so most likely this will also be able to have redundant on it, so it'll be able to have ×16 most likely. Has a decent-ish fire rate for a shotgun, 6 magazine size, does shock damage. The red text is, I want to set the world on fire, which is kind of weird because it's a shock weapon. No idea what it does. The stats on it just show like a kind of a basic Hyperion shotgun. So really have no idea on that one. And it has like all the increases are kind of basic along Hyperion shotguns as well. So crit damage, weapon damage, a lot of that stuff is on most Hyperion shotguns. So can't really tell anything from that one. This one seems like it could be pretty good. Dueling Lucky 7, which is a Jacob's pistol. Its red text is O Fortuna, and it has a pretty good base damage, a decent-ish magazine for a Jacob's pistol, but it has a 12.6 fire rate. So this thing's going to be a super fast, also has crit damage increase. So this thing is going to be super high damage just because it's a Jacob's weapon with a really high fire rate. It's probably going to bounce everywhere because pretty much all Jacobs do that. And that's all we know. It seems like it could be a decent weapon just off the stats. Then we have Shredded Craps, which is another pistol, a Torg pistol, which does have the stuck gyro jets damage increased by 10% each. It has a pretty good base damage, decent-ish fire rate, 6 magazine size. Splash damage, weapon fire rate, weapon damage, kind of normal stat increases. It could be pretty decent because it does have a good enough damage to where having something like Mo's with unlimited ammo, with that fire rate, you could get a lot of stickies put on the target and then reload and blow something up. So it could be really good for that. Then we have the Shredded Creamer. I think this is a Moxxi weapon from Borderlands 2. Or it shares the same name, the Creamer, and it has non-dairy as a red text. It has a really good base damage, but for a rocket launcher, it's kind of normal. A fire rate, which is probably pretty normal for a rocket launcher, 0.77. 3 magazine size, which is And then it has the stuck gyro jets damage increased by 75% each. And depending how much this actually shoots out, because it could shoot out a bunch of rounds, depending on how much it shoots out, these weapons are really good for bursting down bosses, especially on a Mo's build with unlimited ammo. Just like any Torg weapon. So it could be a decent rocket launcher. Then we have Shocking Tactical Auto Aim, which is a dual sniper rifle with switching between automatic and 2-round burst. It's, I think, OGC hooked. I don't really know what that is. It is shock. It does have decent shock damage. It has almost a 5 fire rate, 10 magazine size, and it could be fully automatic or burst with a decent, actually a pretty good base damage. This sniper seems like it could be pretty good just off its stats. We have no idea what it is. Just kind of by the name, it seems like something that might have tracking rounds just because its name is auto aim. So it might have tracking rounds or something like that. It seems like it could be pretty decent. Then we have Powerhouse Cheap Tips, a Hyperion SMG. 539 base damage, 719 fire rate, which is kind of a medium-ish fire rate for SMGs, 49 magazine, which is really good. And it is Hyperion, so it does probably have the shield on it too. But it's red text, I'll get home early from work. Then I think it's special. This is probably its actual special. Is damaging enemies may drop casino chips that boost weapon damage for 12 seconds when picked up. This could be pretty good because most likely these are going to count as the other like things that drop off shields. So most likely it's going to auto pick them up, I would assume. And since it's only shooting enemies, you could possibly get these really quickly, and depending on if these stack or not, how much damage they give, it could be good. It all depends on that special, if this is going to be a good weapon at all. Then we have Stark Ion Laser, which is another SMG. It's a melee one, and this one has radiation shock. Could probably have all of them. It has a 269 base damage, which isn't that great. I mean, it's okay-ish for an SMG. Fired is 3.47 and magazine size is 26. None of those are really that great, even though it is a melee one weapon, but it has a really low damage per second. So most likely this is going to do something like have a pretty big special effect. It's called Particles Unite, is its red text. And I'm assuming this is going to do something crazy, probably shoot out multiple rounds, or do something special, because its overall stats aren't very good at all. Then we have a Searing Relentless Boomer, which is a dual SMG. I think this is one of the ones we've already seen. Has a decent base damage, really high fire rate for anything, almost 12. 18 magazine size is pretty low. Its red text is some like it hot. Bullets are laced with hot sauce. No idea what that is. I'm pretty sure I thought this was probably going to be something that maybe in some way has a chance to guarantee its fire chance on enemies, but that isn't that great in itself. Maybe shooting enemies makes them take more fire damage or something like that, and that could work. But overall, it seems like a decent SMG. But again, depends on what is special about it. Then we have Subsidized Slow Hand, a Hyperion shotgun without any times on it, so no extra pellets. 1276 is the base damage. Close to 4 fire rate, 3.59 fire rate, 13 magazine size, which is pretty good for that fire rate. And it's a Hyperion weapon, so it has all the increases Hyperion weapons usually have. But this is also a splash damage radius on it, and this one's cryo. So this is most likely going to be some type of explosive shotgun, probably shooting out one explosive round. No idea what it is, but it could be pretty good. Explosive shotguns can be pretty good, especially since it doesn't have any extra pellets. It kind of shows me it's either going to be really terrible or have some pretty big special effect on it. So that's for all the weapons. Now, the class mods are all insane. They're ridiculous, all of them. I think Amara gets the weakest one out of the ones I see. But first one is Zane. This one's nuts. This is definitely going to be probably Zane's new best class mod and new best build. Whenever Zane damages an enemy with his weapon, he has a chance to automatically activate all of his kill skills. Additionally, his kill skills gain a plus 25% effect bonus. This is insane. If you don't know, kill skills for Zane are nuts. Like, he has a talent that when you activate one of your action skills, all your kill skills are active. And just doing that makes Zane incredibly strong in that burst window. But being able to shoot enemies and have a chance to activate all of them and they're all stronger. Also, a bunch of his can stack ×2 now. This is going to be one of the strongest class mods in the game. It's absolutely amazing. It's absolutely going to be Zane's strongest class mod. It's probably going to be on the main build that everyone uses for Zane now. This thing is nuts. And the talents it's rolling, one of them is the one that has a chance to fire an additional projectile after killing an enemy, so it's a kill skill. The other one is increased fire rate on a kill skill. That last one, I don't remember what that is. Is that a kill skill that increases his and his digiclone damage? It might be that. I think it actually is that. But all three of those are really good. That class mod is going to be nuts. Keep an eye out for that class mod. If you get it, definitely don't throw it away if you play Zane. It's going to be insane. Oh, I probably should have clicked in earlier to zoom in. I thought it would have been lower resolution. The Amara class mod is Aware Golden Rule. Also, that class mod name for Zane was Dastardly Cheap Shots Seeing Dead. I don't know which one of those are prefixes. Then we have the Golden Roll for Moze, or not Moze, Amara. It's Aware on it. Whenever an enemy damages Amara, she gains increased cooldown rate, action cooldown rate for a few seconds. This affects stacks. This could be decent. I'm assuming there's going to be builds that just use this, just because her action skills are pretty good, especially for activating other things. This isn't going to be her strongest though. She does a mindfulness on this roll, Laid Bare, and then I think it's Helping Hands that reduces damage taken after an action skill. So the talents are pretty decent. This will probably be used in some builds that are built around it, but I don't think this is going to be your strongest at all. But there definitely could be some cool builds with this one. Just getting more and more action skills. Then we have Jackpot, I guess, for Flak. We've seen this one. This one's nuts. Whenever Flak scores a critical hit, they gain increased weapon damage until they don't score a critical hit. This affects stacks. If you can make a god bleed, people will cease to believe in them. I think that's a Iron Man quote from the Avengers. But this is going to be nuts. With Fadeaway, boss killing, it's going to be absolutely insane. This is going to be his new best boss killing class mod, probably guaranteed, depending on how much damage it gives, but most likely from the damage increases we've seen from the most recent class mods, this is probably going to be really high damage. And the rolls on it are decent-ish. It's Fast and the Furious, the one that increases, I forget what the bird head one is, and then the last one is increases damage and health for you and your pet, so decent talent rolls. This one's going to be insane as well. It's going to be Flak's best for boss killing by far. Then we have one for Moze. After firing your weapons for a few seconds, Moze's weapons gain increased bonus corrosive damage. The longer she continues firing her weapon, the greater the bonus. Now, I'm wondering if this has a stack, like if it has a limit to how much damage you can get, how much it's going to give you as you go on. Because depending on that, even if it's not a crazy amount, certain builds are going to be nuts with this. It has Scorching RPMs increase, which is like critical hit damage and fire rate and something else. I think Iron Bear damage. The other one is the lower your magazine gets, the more damage you get. The last one is magazine size increase. Investing Blistering Green Monster. That's just Green Monster. This is going to be really good, especially I can already think of one that's some ammo regen from Moze. Then you get the Terror Anointed on shield or grenade that gives you ammo regen, which is like 12% and 3 stacks of terror. And then you get a high magazine weapon like a Lucian's Call or like a Shredifier. And like with a Shredifier, you can never run out of ammo just with the Terror Anointed. So depending on how much this can stack, just having one of those is going to be nuts against any armor targets. Especially if you're not doing a boss, so you don't care about crazy burst, and you're just running through, like farming something or killing certain enemies that are all armor because there's so many robots in this next DLC. It's going to be really good because technically you'll never have to reload with using a certain loadout. So all of these are really good. Like I said, the Zane one is absolutely nuts. It's going to be the strongest class mod in the game. The Flak one is going to be nuts for boss killing, probably the strongest boss killing in the game. The Amara one's probably the weakest, but she doesn't need another strong one. She has like the strongest one in the game currently. Then the Green Monster's probably going to be really strong as well, depending on how much damage it gets. So that's all the linked weapons, or leaked weapons and class mods for the next DLC. There's going to be a lot more stuff, guaranteed, but this does show that there's going to be a lot of stuff even just leaked, which is really nice. But subscribe for to see more Borderlands 3 content. Leave a like if you liked the video. Leave a comment down below what you guys think about all these leaked legendary items, and thanks for watching.